Okay, if you can hear me over the noise of the heaters, they're old and they're from eBay. That is one finished, apart from paint, apart from a bit of sanding and paint, probably just paint. That's the new headlight bracket. One of. So that's how it's going to be, and the headlight will be there, obviously. Well, not obviously, and the indicator's going back under there. I need to invent a bracket. And this is the second one that I'm just shaping. That's the bottom end there. So I'm just shaping that off with a grinder. And I thought, I haven't done many action shots recently, so let me just get my ear protectors on. And we'll do some action shots with sparks flying. You ready for this? Oh, God. Don't know you're born, you people. It's okay, because this is wood, and that's not flammable. That's alright. Don't worry about the sparks. Just watch the show. It's nearly, yeah, it's coming up for fireworks night. Right, there's enough sparks for a minute. Won't bore you with just sparks. I'll bore you with a lot more than that. So that's both the headlight brackets on. The bolts have been cut to length, and I've recessed the bar so the heads are flush, rounded off the bottom, and smoothed in the sides of the handlebar clamps, and smoothed it off at the back. Excuse me. On both sides, like that, recessed like that. It's good and tight. I don't know whether it'll put up with wheeling. Next thing is to sand them down. I mean, this has got some rough points on it, so sand them down, ready for painting. Prime and paint. And then the next portion will be indicators, and I think the new MOT regs state they have to be sort of 240mm apart, which is somewhere here. So instead of that silly little bracket in the middle, which was a bit dodgy anyway, being that it's too central. It's not actually telling oncoming traffic, here's an indicator, I'm going this way. It's a bit too central. It's more like a hazard light, warning beacon. That's an idea, put a warning beacon on it, just to let everyone know what a piece of shit it is. It's not. Yeah, so it'll be out sort of like that, so just a bit further than the fault brace, just to definitively say yes, I'm turning that way. I could actually put them onto the fork brace, and it's going to stick out quite a way. Might be worth looking at though. That'd be the easiest bracket to do. Just take the bracket off of here, little L-shaped bracket. But with having the body back here, obviously the wires and that you can feed up and through. If it's off the bracket here, I don't know, it just looks a bit messier. There's me worried about it looking a mess. Wow. The irony. But that's the headlight on. Looks alright, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Very naked. And once I've done that and wired it in and rewrapped the loom and blah blah blah, I can get on with my mudguard, which is really starting to rust now, which is not so good. So near yet so far. Anyway, that's enough for me tonight. Back's starting to play up, so let's put stuff away and go and have some dinner. Right, so the brackets and everything are done. They all fit really well. Light fits to them, which is always handy with a headlight bracket. Now I'm just going to sand them down. Not sand them down, rough them up. Rough them up, ready for painting. There's a couple of bits that want a bit of extra TLC, but no, ultimately it is just roughing up. Etch primer, etch grey primer, and then gloss black on the top. But first of all, as I say, get rid of all the rubbish. Okay, so that's all the bits sanded enough, or just roughed up, ready to take a lick of paint and clean them all off with panel wipe. Get all the impurities off, and then hopefully we won't have any reactions with the paint. Right, just getting the paint shop set up now. So yeah, mainly it's just the outer faces. The stainless steel bolts want their heads blackened for when they're in the bracket. The actual bar clamps I didn't actually want to sand down and paint because they were powder coated from new. So, but because I'd sanded them down to fit the headlight brackets, shaped them in a bit, they need a touch up, so they'll get a bit of gloss black. Just got to hang the brackets up themselves and ready for painting. Right, just in case you are interested, it's Autotech Professional Etch Primer Spray Paint, high covering power. So I'll give it a few coats of this. Yeah, about 3 coats should do it. 10 minutes in between coats. Okay, so that's, was it 3 or 4? Might have been 4 coats. 4 coats of primer. About 10 minutes in between coats, and then I'll leave that with the heater going because it's bloody cold outside. Heater going for, I don't know, another hour or so, just to get some heat on that to hopefully cook it. And the next step will be some gloss black. Okay, so brackets are, no, handlebar clamps, they're painted. Bolts, painted. Headlight brackets, painted. So I can finally get it back on here and then start wiring. So tonight, let's get the light on, I suppose. So that's the headlight on. It's going to be the look well for a while. And then obviously you've seen it from here while I was putting it together. Very clean. Yeah. So now the wiring. Like that. Whoa! Mind, because that'll be hot for a little while. You guys. No laughing out loud. Right, so that's that. And then this bunch of shit. Sorry, did I say shit? I meant beautiful wiring. This bunch of beautiful wiring can be disconnected like that. Don't know whether that's quite the desired effect. The rust on the soldering iron is transferring to the heat shrink. Does that then make it a metal surface? Oh dear. Right, so we've got them three. Now we need to put connectors on them three. Need to check what the time is. 8:45. So I've disconnected all the plastic from the metal, and now I'm gonna solder the wire on and then pull the plastic forward to cover it and then crimp. And that is the theory behind it. So on that. So we've got side light, main beam, and then high beam. Excellent. Turn it off for my shiny ignition down there. Okay, so the light's on and all up and done and working. Loom still needs tidying up, but before I do that, I need to get these indicators put on. And I think I'm going there. Anyway, bracket to make. Bracket marked out. Chop that bit off. Bend it 90 degrees, couple of holes. Done, innit? Get some headphones on. Not headphones, ear protectors. So that should be somewhere near 45 by 20. Good enough. Right, yes. I'm going to cut a slot in the side so I can just push the wiring through and then push the bolt back through, or the indicator back through, and bolt it on. It will lose about, I don't know, 1/10 of the material, if that, and it'll enable me to leave the bracket in place if I ever want to mess about with the indicators or whatever I want to do. I haven't got to keep unwiring it, so I'm going to go that way. If it's not feasible and it does start to flop or fall out or whatever, then I'll do something different. But at the moment, I'm going to do that. But first of all, I'm going to just round off these corners and take some of the burring off of it. There you go, a little slot to accommodate the wiring, and then I can screw it on. So let's try and screw it on. Okay, the brackets are on, the indicators are on. But they're not on, they're fixed on. And I think it's looking alright. The angle of the light I've set to these dodgy lines here. It's on the bottom line, so should be somewhere near. That'll do. So it's ready for the road again, which is, oh, it's been so long. But obviously it's the winter now, so the weather's shit. But indicators are on, lights on, expansion tanks on, ignition has been moved to accommodate for the light, and it works very nicely. There you go, that's the look. Rider's point of view. Looks quite neat and clean. And then we've got, oh, side light, park light, whatever you want to call it, headlight, and daylight maker, whatever. But there you go. I mean, it looks at a worse angle at the moment because it's up on the Gsxr skylift. I don't know whether I've mentioned Gsxr. I've got an Gsxr skylift. Anyway, so the line is a bit further down. Hayabusa is a bit further down than it should be. But all working, indicators, fabulous. And I do like the fact that they are further out now. I'm not sure about the bolt showing and being in silver and blah blah blah, but as I've always said, it's not going to be a show vehicle. Let's try the other side. Let's turn them lights out for a minute. So yeah, all up and working, handlebars are in probably the right place. As I say, I've got to get out on it and test everything. But it does mean it's street legal now, so I can get out and play. I haven't played on it for ages, since I broke the last bracket playing wheelies. Well, the wheelies fractured it, I think. It did actually break while I was going down the road, and I didn't have any video footage of it actually coming off. But I'd just undertaken 2 other motorbikes that were fucking about, one of them being a Harley. So they deserved it. And then my headlight fell off, which I deserved. But there you go. Ready to rock and roll. And now that means I can get on with my front mudguard, which has got a lot to do. I've got to English wheel these lumps out, and then got to figure out some bracketing to go up and round. And but yes, pleased as punch. The bike is back to being roadworthy. And I don't know how much you can see because it's dark, so I thought I'd show you the new headlight. That's side light, low beam and high beam. Yeah, that shows up alright.